एजुकेशन के, वो किसी तरह से रिलेट नहीं करना चाहते। अब तो थोड़ा सा फर्क आया है, but let's say 10 years ago when I used to sometimes, or 15 years ago sometimes, discuss or ask somebody who had done an MBBS, modern medicine, allopathic medicine, that do you know anything about Ayurveda? They say, oh no, this is not scientific. You know, we have created a very odd concept. I don't know from where it comes. Certainly not Jawaharlal Nehru, to whom it is attributed all the time, that all ancient knowledge is unscientific or it is against the scientific temperament. So they will say, no, this is old, this is not rational, this is superstitious. So all Ayurveda was superstitious. I'll tell you, I just take 2 minutes. About 10 years ago, I went to a conference in Greece on alternate medicine. They invited me to say something about Indian psychology. I'm not a doctor. Anyway, I went there, and you know what I discovered? That the largest number of researchers who were participating in that conference were from United States of America, and they were agents of allopathic companies, modern medicine companies. So I asked some of them, why have you come here about alternate medicine? Why have you come here to learn about Chinese medicine, Indian medicine, Greek medicine, non-allopathic? They said, we are not concerned with classification. We are only concerned with what works. If your medicine works, if it cures, we'll buy the rights for it, we'll start manufacturing it, we'll make money out of it. They have a practical approach which sometimes can be dangerous to us, as it was in the case of turmeric when they took a copyright or patent on turmeric and turmeric medicine and on several other things. But that illustrates the fact that those things which have sustained us for thousands of years, that those systems of knowledge which were sought after by so many other nations for centuries and centuries together, which sustained our university, say from Takshila. Takshila is something like 300 BC, till Nalanda, which was destroyed in 1260 or something like that, 13th century. There was more than 1,000 years of history of great universities. So those systems of knowledge, how can they become irrelevant or outdated? It's only a figment of our mind. It's only a fear. So what we have to do now is to relate all those systems of knowledge which existed once into the modern curriculum. You see, I am making a radical proposal. What happens is, we have made a classification that tradition is something which has to be taken care of in extracurricular way. If it is religion, then you read about religion at home. If it is Unani, then if your father is a Unani doctor, if he is a Hakim, then you learn it from him. Or now there are some Unani colleges, but you know what is the condition of those colleges, how little patronized they are. In Delhi, go to Tibia College. It is the same for last 40 years. I haven't seen any change in it. No updating at all of any kind. We say that if it is economics, then In that case, you don't have to read Arthashastra. Absolutely nothing. I used to visit some professors out of curiosity in my student days in the Delhi School of Economics, at the time when there were great professors there like our Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, and visiting professors like Amartya Sen and several others who were great names. And never in their syllabus did I hear that there was a serious study of Arthashastra. Now, it is very fashionable for some people to give a lecture on Arthashastra. About 2 months ago, a former ambassador of India gave a lecture on Arthashastra at India International, and he said a few very nice things that Arthashastra has. I have no quarrel with such lectures. But let me ask you a question. Is this kind of ornamental lecturing enough to really explore what is Arthashastra? Not unless there are departments which are studying it. Not unless there are scholars which are studying it. Not unless there is research. Not unless there is debate. What is right, what is wrong, what is useful in that text today, what is not useful, what was the social system, how can that social system be of some use to us today. Unless you are thinking about that very acutely, you cannot make use of those texts. So you see, the whole Indian tradition has a very large number of texts which are texts of knowledge systems and which have been called the Shastras. And there is no area of knowledge either in humanity or in sciences which does not have a Shastra to it. There are very practical Shastras, how to make a perfume. Then there are Shastras which are about social behavior, codes, marriage, life, acceptance, areas of how to build a city, how to make armaments, how to breed horses. All of these things have been worked out by texts which are not written by a single person, but which have been written by generations of scholarship. So, these texts have to be studied at the university. This is my submission. You can ask me a very simple question. अगर हम ऐसा करें तो सचमुच कुछ लाभ होगा? Is there any example in history that if people have studied old text, then have they gained anything? You'll ask me this question. You have every right to ask me this question. And I'll give you an answer. Those of you who may have read a bit of history would know that Europe had a great change in its knowledge systems around the 15th century. एक नया सोच वहाँ पैदा हुआ, नई विद्याएं आईं, लोगों ने बहुत सारे ग्रंथ पढ़ने शुरू किए, और जो पहले पढ़ रहे थे ज़्यादातर ग्रंथ जो धर्म के ऊपर आधारित थे, क्रिश्चियनिटी पर आधारित थे, उनको एक तरफ न रखकर, उनको भी साथ रखकर उन्होंने नए, वैसे बहुत पुराने लेकिन दोबारा ग्रंथ पढ़े। वो कौन से ग्रंथ थे? What were those texts? And these were texts not even of their own culture. ये उनके अपने टेक्स्ट नहीं थे, ये ग्रीक और रोमन टेक्स्ट थे. तो ग्रीक और रोमन टेक्स्ट को यूरोप ने 15वीं शताब्दी से पढ़ना शुरू किया और उन्होंने एक नई संस्कृति का आविष्कार किया, जिसको आप मॉडर्न साइंटिफिक थॉट कहते हैं. व्हाट इज कॉल्ड नेचुरल साइंसेस, मॉडर्न फिजिक्स, मॉडर्न केमिस्ट्री, ये सारी साइंसेस जो हैं डेवलप ही यूरोप में जब हुई. ये किसके टेक्स्ट पढ़ के? ये क्लासिकल टेक्स्ट पढ़ के, जो अपने भी नहीं थे, जो किसी दूसरे के थे. इंग्लैंड में वो टेक्स्ट नहीं लिखे गए, फ्रांस में नहीं लिखे गए, वो उनकी लैंग्वेजेस में नहीं थे, वो एंशिएंट ग्रीक में थे, वो लैटिन में थे. उन लैंग्वेजेस को स्टडी किया गया, उनकी स्टडी के करने वालों को प्राथमिकता दी गई, एक ऑनर दी गई, और उन्होंने उन टेक्स्ट का ट्रांसलेशन किया. यहां तक कि धर्म ग्रंथों का ट्रांसलेशन किया. न्यू टेस्टामेंट तो ग्रीक में लिखा गया था, वो अंग्रेजी में थोड़ा ही था. तो किंग जेम्स द फर्स्ट के ज़माने में उसका इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन हुआ. तो लोगों ने ईसाइयों ने अपनी बाइबल अंग्रेजी में पढ़नी शुरू की, लेकिन ओरिजिनली कहाँ लिखी गई थी? ग्रीक में. लेकिन ग्रीक को दोबारा पढ़ना और व्यापक तौर पर सैकड़ों लोगों के द्वारा पढ़ना जब हुआ यूरोप में, तो एक नई संस्कृति निकली. एंड दैट इज द ग्रेट चेंज दैट हैपेंड इन यूरोप. And Europe then started conquering the rest of the world. They became colonial powers. Of course, what they did to the rest of the world should not be an example to us. But if they can revive on borrowed text, why can we not revive ourselves on our own text? मेरा एक सीधा सा सवाल. Those texts which sustained our universities for more than 1,000 years and sustained our civilization. आज हम जब किसी शास्त्र के बारे में सोचते हैं तो हम कहते हैं अरे साहब ये है, ठीक है, होगा, हमें क्या पता, पंडित जी से पूछ लेते हैं. लेकिन आप जानते हैं शास्त्र का क्या अर्थ होता है? शास्त्रम इति शासनोपायम. शास्त्र जो है वो एक मेथडोलॉजी है, एक सिस्टम है, जो किसी नॉलेज को समझने का और समझाने का तरीका होता है. इट इज अ मेथड ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग थिंग्स इन अ गिवन एरिया एंड ऑफ टीचिंग इट टू अदर्स and transmitting that system of knowledge from one generation to another. That is a Shastra. And there are Shastras, as I said, of all different systems, areas that human life consists of. तो इसलिए इकोनॉमिक्स का होता है, आर्ट का होता है, एस्थेटिक्स का होता है. ये सारी चीज़ें डिसिप्लिन्ड तरह से हमारे यहाँ लिखी गई, इन पर विचार हुआ, इन पर ग्रंथ लिखे गए. उन ग्रंथों को आफ्टर ए सर्टेन पीरियड 100 साल 50 साल बाद रिवाइज किया गया, री एडिट किया गया, ऐड किया गया, अपडेट किया गया सैकड़ों साल तक, और उन्होंने एजुकेशन के द्वारा सिविलाइजेशन को सस्टेन किया. तो जब ये इतने बरसों हुआ तो वो आज उस सिस्टम को अपडेट करके, आज मॉडर्न सिस्टम्स के साथ उसको मिलाकर हम अपने आप को रिवाइव क्यों नहीं कर सकते? See, I can give you dozens of examples. I don't have time to go, and I would like to conclude now in a few minutes. I can give you so many examples of how there is a schizophrenia in our life. हमारे दैनिक जीवन में ये स्किज़ोफ्रीनिया है, और हम दो तरह की दुनिया में जीते हैं, एक ट्रेडिशन की दुनिया में और एक मॉडर्निटी की दुनिया, एंड इट इज वेरी पेनफुल because these are life situations which confront us in a painful way. We see it every day. We see it in the breakup of families. We see in new kinds of marital relations. We see it in the kind of caste politics that is going on in our country today. We see it in terms of linguistic problems that exist. आज जो देश में मुसीबत होती है, हमारी आइडेंटिटी बदल गई. आज हम मराठी, हिंदी वाले, तमिलियन ये सब हो गए. 19वीं सेंचुरी से पहले ऐसा कोई इंडियन टेक्स्ट नहीं है जो किसी इंडियन को इस तरह से लिंग्विस्टिक्स टर्म में डिफाइन करता हो. वी हैड अ वेरी डिफरेंट सिस्टम. लैंग्वेज फॉर अस was the ability to express. ये स्किज़ोफ्रेनिया जिसमें अब हम रह रहे हैं, ट्रेडिशन और मॉडर्निटी के, ये नहीं जाएगा जब तक कि आप ट्रेडिशन के टेक्स्ट को नहीं समझेंगे. अब मैं एक ऐसे पॉइंट पर आता हूं जो बड़ा सेंसिटिव है और जिसने भारतवर्ष के अंदर, जिसकी कमी ने बहुत मुश्किलें हमारे लिए पैदा की हैं, और वो